Thank you for that. And next is 13A, State of the District Address by John Powell, Board President. That's me. Welcome. I welcome you to Coachella Valley Water District. This is our third evening meeting designed to provide greater opportunity for people to attend our district meetings, to see and listen to what we are doing, and to provide input. Thank you for attending, and I hope you find that your time here is well spent. This is also our first President's State of the District Address. As the President, I'm pleased to have the opportunity to provide these comments. These are my thoughts regarding the state of the district as one member of our board. I invite my fellow board members to provide their comments as well. If the public finds the address informative and beneficial, we'll continue it annually. And if not, this may be the last time we do this. CVWD is involved in much more than providing safe, affordable drinking water to you. We also provide wastewater services with our 6 reclamation plants, stormwater protection with 134 miles of regional flood protection facilities, agricultural irrigation water with a 123-mile canal and a 485-mile distribution system serving over 65,000 crop acres, agricultural drainage with hundreds of miles of drains necessary to remove salts from the productive lands, recycled water with over 8 million gallons of daily average flow, groundwater management with 3 replenishment facilities, and our very popular education and conservation programs. 2014 has been a busy year at CVWD. As you may know, we're facing many challenges for which we thankfully are well prepared. Good planning has been the key, and for this reason, good planning is the theme of this address. Perhaps the most transformative event at CVWD this year is the development of our strategic plan called Flowing Forward. Over several months, approximately 50 staff members, along with top management and board members, worked to identify the 6 top strategic priorities for CVWD, which are employee and workforce development, financial stability, water quality and environmental leadership, exceptional customer service, infrastructure investment and management, and water supply sustainability. I will discuss each of these 6 priorities as I describe not only the plan, but the current state of the Coachella Valley Water District. The first strategic goal is employee and workforce development. CVWD employees are what make this district great. They are the face of CVWD, the able men and women who carry out our mission statement to meet the water-related needs of the people through dedicated employees providing high-quality water at a reasonable cost. Our employees truly are members of the community and represent the district well through their long-term commitment and high standards of customer service. We recognize the value of investing in our employees and developing employees with skills necessary to meet future demands. I believe I speak for the entire board when I say we're honored to be so well represented by our dedicated and long-term employees who are committed to their community. At this time, I want to mention the recent loss of a longtime employee, Richard Harlow, who passed away at home last week. Richard's 30-year anniversary at CVWD would be this week. But please join me in a moment of silence to honor Richard and the family, friends, and coworkers that he left behind. The next strategic goal is financial stability. The financial condition of CVWD is of great importance at a time when many government agencies are facing very difficult financial times. Our financial condition is stable with assets exceeding liabilities by $1.6 billion and healthy cash reserves. Our stable financial position has allowed us to face financial challenges head on. While California and the many agencies in California have aggregate unfunded liabilities that are estimated to be roughly $500 billion, CVWD has recently set up an OPEB trust to pre-fund our post-employment health benefit liabilities to the tune of $10 million with an additional $10 million contribution to be made this fiscal year. Our unfunded pension liability, like much of California, is significant, and we're studying the feasibility of funding our CalPERS liabilities to 80%. The 80% level recognizes the true value of the commitment we have made to our retirees and to our current employees and proves we are not going to kick the burden down the road for the next generation to bear. We've recently developed our first ever 5-year capital improvement budget that identifies necessary expenditures to keep our vast infrastructure functioning. With this in hand, we know that our infrastructure needs exceed our current cash reserves, which is why we're in the process of selecting a financial advisor for potential bond financing for large, long-term projects. Rates are the true measure of sound financial management, and I'm proud to say that this board has not raised domestic water rates in 4 years. For the first time, CVWD has initiated a cost of service studies to make sure the rates we charge are enough to cover the cost of the services we provide and not a penny more. We recognize that the last 4 years have been difficult economically for many of our customers, and at the board's direction, CVWD staff has worked hard to manage the business part of the district in an efficient and beneficial way. The next strategic goal is water quality and environmental leadership. CVWD has always met all state and federal standards for water quality. Recently, California adopted a maximum contaminant level for chromium-6, a naturally occurring element in our groundwater that has been there for millennia. I want to assure you that as we build the treatment facilities required by this new regulation, our water continues to be safe to drink. The MCL is based on what the state regulators believe are long-term potential health concerns. Approximately half of CVWD's wells are above the new level of 10 parts per billion. We're working hard to get legislation passed in Sacramento that gives us the 5 years needed to build what will be the largest public works project ever in the Coachella Valley. We had no choice but to wait until the MCL was determined before making a plan, because we cannot commit to spending your dollars until we know whether the level was above or below our existing Chrome-6 levels. We anticipate a report from our consultant this week that presents options for cost-effective treatment. We're doing everything we can to keep costs down, but because of the magnitude of the treatment that would be required by state regulators, we anticipate the need for a substantial increase in water rates as a result of this new statewide regulation. We're also working with a number of agencies in the Valley to develop a salt and nutrient management plan that will continue to guarantee the quality of our groundwater. The next strategic goal is exceptional customer service. Perhaps the greatest but least appreciated service of CVWD is that we're there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you turn the tap in your home, water flows without interruption. When you flush, it magically goes away. Where does it go? Sign up for one of our tours and find out. Reliability is a hallmark of CVWD and may not be top of mind because it's such a constant and reliable presence. CVWD has received recognition for its efforts to promote transparency in its operations and governance, and continues to make great advances in transparency. Evening meetings being but one example, while protecting the constitutional privacy rights and private information of all of its customers. We're a recent recipient of awards from the California Special District Association and Government Finance Officers Association for transparency and financial reporting. Everything we do is a matter of public record, and much of it is available on our website, cvwd.org. Voters this year changed the way directors are elected. Now, each director is elected by a specific division, not by the entire district. I personally supported the change to by division as a way to ensure better representation of our constituents. The boundaries of each division were also modified with input from an advisory committee of valley-wide representatives to reflect by population divisions that keep communities intact. Our public outreach efforts are more aggressive than ever. We have recently launched the CVWD Facebook page and have 267 followers. We are using more bill inserts and direct mail pieces, print and radio advertising, free educational workshops, with 5 being held in the remainder of this year, community presentations and events, 77 last year, and school presentations with 15,750 students in 570 classrooms last school year. Our strategic plan also calls for improving internal communications by breaking down barriers between departments and encouraging more cooperation. We're also increasing outreach to obtain customer input and feedback to better meet your needs and expectations. The next strategic goal is infrastructure investment and management. I've already mentioned the tremendous array of infrastructure that we own and rely on to move water. For example, the canal irrigation distribution system was built in the 1940s and was assumed to have a 100-year useful life. We have found that not to be the case and must manage the aging infrastructure to continue deliveries to our customers. Our strategic plan calls for implementing asset management and preventive maintenance programs to make smarter decisions relating to infrastructure expenditures. The budget includes $78.8 million in capital projects, including $20 million for domestic, $8.7 million for canal, $37.5 million for sanitation, $4.2 million for stormwater projects, and $4.5 million for non-potable projects. The most important planning that CVWD has done, and this planning began 96 years ago, is water supply sustainability, the last of the 6 strategic goals identified in our plan. CVWD recognized long ago that all sources of water are important, and the aquifer, though vast, had to be managed properly to assure water for the future. Overdraft has occurred many times in the history of the Coachella Valley, and it has been addressed in many different ways. It is this diverse supply of water, including the ancient aquifer, local surface flows, and imported water from both Northern California and the Colorado River, that makes our water supplies the envy of other regions, especially during times of drought. Water sustainability planning is best described in CVWD's Groundwater Management Plan, first published in 2002 and updated in 2010. The plan is available on our website. This plan is being followed, and we will continue to follow this plan to eliminate the overdraft of the aquifer, even in the most conservative 20-year average view by the year 2021. The multi-tiered strategy calls for replenishment of the aquifer, recycling wastewater, and conserving groundwater. I will address each of the 3 strategies here, the first one being replenishment. We've replenished nearly 3 million acre-feet of water at Whitewater since 1973. This is 1 trillion gallons that's gone into the aquifer that would have been forever lost had we not, together with Desert Water Agency, planned for decades to make this happen. We also replenish an average of 35,000 acre-feet annually in the East Valley with water obtained through the 2003 Quantification Settlement Agreement, or QSA. An additional replenishment facility is located at Mission Creek near Desert Hot Springs, and we are actively researching a new replenishment site in the Mid-Valley that meets a variety of criteria for success. The recently published USGS ground subsidence report proves that our efforts have been successful in the East Valley, not only to increase the underground water supply, but also to stop land subsidence. There was no measurable land subsidence observed at most of the GPS locations studied. We've also measured increases in groundwater levels by as much as 75 feet within 6 miles of the Thomas E. Levy facility. Naturally occurring artesian flows have returned to the East Valley. We're also planning an expansion of the Colorado River irrigation system so that more farmers can turn off their wells and use Colorado River water instead. This is called in-lieu recharge because instead of percolating river water into the ground to replace water that's been taken out, we deliver that surface water directly to the customer, eliminating the need to pump well water. This system will be paid for by landowners who recognize the importance of planning a sustainable water supply. The second strategy is recycling. We are aggressively adding more customers to our non-potable water supply. We plan to have 84% of the 107 golf courses within CVWD's boundaries connected to the non-potable supply within 10 years. We are currently connecting 3 to 4 golf courses annually. Each time a golf course connects to our non-potable supply, they're able to shut off their wells to preserve the aquifer for a sustainable water future. Conservation is the third strategy identified in our groundwater management plan, and in many ways the most important. We're partnering with the golf industry to participate in their Golf and Water Task Force. The first action the task force took was publicly committing to reduce water use by 10% by the year 2020. This may not sound like an impressive number at first, but it will come at a great cost of tens of millions of dollars to the golf industry, and it's a very big part of reaching our conservation goals district-wide. We've also taken a carrot and stick approach to conservation for our domestic customers with increased and enhanced conservation education, tools, and rebates, the carrot, Along with state-mandated water use restrictions, the STIC, we found that the most effective water conservation incentive is tiered rates, which we have in effect at CVWD since 2009. Another tool that's gaining increased interest is irrigation smart controllers, which we will install and program for you at your house at no charge. These controllers have been shown to reduce domestic water consumption by 26% on average. We also have expanded and enhanced many of our incentives, including new technology sprinkler heads for greater efficiency, our popular turf replacement rebates, toilet rebates, and a variety of free specialized commercial water saving equipment. One aspect of our groundwater management plan that may seem counterintuitive during times of drought is that the plan by necessity takes future growth into consideration. Remember, this is a long-term plan that appropriately considers the reality of economic growth. In fact, the most recent update to the plan provides a sustainable water supply for more than 800,000 people in the valley by 2035. To the extent the valley does not grow to such a high population, there's room in the aquifer to put that water. Water supply sustainability planning occurs on many fronts. In addition to groundwater management plan, we are supportive, as you heard a moment ago, of the $7.5 billion water bond, Prop 1, recognizing the potential positive impacts it can have locally and statewide on water quality and water reliability. We're also supportive of the Bay Delta Conservation Plan, or BDCP, and efforts to improve the reliability of state water project deliveries. We also support restoration of the Salton Sea, a responsibility of the state of California because of possible impacts on the Coachella Valley environment and economy if nothing is done. In particular, we're supportive of Salton Sea mitigation as it relates to meeting the requirements of the QSA. The QSA provides a quantified increasing supply of Colorado River water to Coachella Valley Water District. This supply is absolutely critical to our sustainable water future. For this reason, we're adamant with respect to the protection of Colorado River water rights. These rights dictate that we get cut last in the event of a shortage. We're equally firm in defending local groundwater rights from attacks such as the tribal lawsuit. Managing groundwater in cooperation with other water agencies and stakeholders is a responsibility that we take seriously. The right to groundwater belongs to everyone in the Coachella Valley, and we plan to keep it that way. As you can see, good planning is critical to the success of the Coachella Valley Water District and its customers. We have a clear direction with the development and implementation of our strategic plan. Central to this effort is our water management plan, which guides us in fulfilling our mission statement in a way that guarantees safe and secure water future for all of the Coachella Valley. Thank you. We're going to move on to the next item, General Manager Report.